So instead of having thousands of people cramming into one little polling stations, you might even have to have them on every street corner. It does not matter. We may have to recruit an army of pollsters who are all safe and protected and well covered with good PPEs, personal protective equipment. But this is all doable. One thing we have to remember, especially in times of crisis, is that Americans can adapt to do things that would have been inconceivable a few years before.
Let's take another break here, Max, and then we'll talk some more. If you're just joining us, my guest is Max Brooks, and his new novel, Devolution, will be published in May. We'll be right back. This is Fresh Air.
The world has lost two West African musicians who transcended borders and language to make people dance.
The thing is, in Africa, music is dance, no matter how you look at it.
Both men fell victim to the coronavirus. More on that story, and a look at the day's news on All Things Considered. Ahead from 4 to 6:30 on WHYY.
Supporting WHYY, Penn Medicine's Abramson Cancer Center, where knowledge can help turn breakthrough research into life-saving treatments. Learn why your life is worth Penn Medicine. Learn more at penncancer.org.
First-time unemployment filings are as high as they're expected to be this week in the multiple millions. What does that tell us about how Americans are feeling?
Well, this tells us that there are a lot of very desperate people out there right now, and they aren't optimistic that they're going to be able to find jobs.
I'm Kyle Rizdal. What to expect when we get the next slice of unemployment numbers next time on Marketplace.
Marketplace ahead from 6:30 to 7 this evening on WHYY.
This is Fresh Air. Let's get back to the interview I recorded Monday with Max Brooks, who writes fiction and nonfiction about disaster planning for crises such as pandemics. His best-selling novel, World War Z, is about a pandemic in which people who are infected become zombies. His new book, Devolution, which is scheduled for publication in May, is about an attack of Sasquatch, Bigfoot. He also lectures at the U.S. Naval War College and is a non-resident fellow at the Modern War Institute at West Point. So he's dealt with issues of disaster planning in fiction and in the real world. You've written, and I think this is from World War Z, fear can be conquered, anxiety must be endured. So are you dealing with anxiety in addition to fear?
Oh, well, always. I think my psychology is a little different than most people because for me, studying crises helps me calm down.
Why does that help you calm down?
Because for me, anxiety comes from the fog of not knowing. How bad is this really? And I attribute that exact thought of anxiety to why our stock market, because the problem was people knew it was a crisis, but they didn't know how bad the crisis actually was. No one had the facts. So they looked to our president to tell them the truth, and instead what they got was happy talk. So when you have a public that knows there's a problem, but their leader says there is no problem, that creates a gap. Within that gap comes anxiety that then breeds panic. If on the first day of the crisis, if the president had said, listen, this is not a hoax, this is real, but it's not the end of the world. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 3.5, and we have to make sure it doesn't go to a 4.5, 5.5, up to a 10. This is where we are. And if we had been told something like that, then that would have helped calm us down.
You wrote in an op-ed recently that panic is not preparation. Say more about that, please.
Well, panic never helps. Panic implies that you lose your mind. And that in a war, even a war against a microscopic enemy, gives aid and comfort to the enemy. When you panic,